So, 4-color Enigmatic Incarnation. This is an archetype we've played a couple of times in the past. So, Enigmatic Incarnation here, our deck's namesake. 4-mana enchantment, kind of a birthing pod adjacent thing, except instead of turning creatures into other creatures, this card turns enchantments into creatures. So, notably, you're sacrificing enchantments and getting creatures. So, what are we doing, sacrificing, and finding? So we've got things like Trial of Ambition, Omen of the Sea, and Birth in the 2-mana slot to turn into things like Skyclave, Reidane, Elspeth's Nightmare, Skyclave, Reidane, Night of Autumn, Renegade Rallier. We have things like Elspeth's Nightmare and Othakaya to turn into things like Sun's Grace, Gonti, Questing Beast. Sharn probably deserves to be in the board today. And we'll put a Shifting Ceratops in the main, I think. And then we've got some bindings and some Enigmatic Incarnations to turn into some various 5-drops here at the very top end of the curve. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this one and see how it goes. Can we make a command for Meta Monday, not overwriting my default Meta Monday command that links to the playlist explaining that I'm waiting for a data breakdown? That we'll be doing it later. I keep this. It needs a 3-drop, but well, the audio balance is what it always is. So all of my microphone settings and stuff are identical to what they always are. Do we think Arena's too loud? Sounds pretty fine in my headphones. Punished. Punished for not, Punished for not playing this on 1, huh? I wanted to play Omen of the Sea on 2. P. Diddy, thanks for the 3rd of a year. Welcome back. Carcom, thanks for the 7 months. Good morning, folks. Might be a game where we just get run down here. Dorat is pretty good. How does Untapped work for YouTube viewers? It doesn't. Untapped basically reads an event file on my MTG Arena, and while events get logged to it, it uploads them to the Twitch overlay. Sphinx, thanks for the 21 months. Welcome back. Oh, Serial saying they're normally a YouTube watcher and they're coming to Twitch for the first time. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so we play this, we do this, we sack this. Well, you know what I probably want in my 75? I wouldn't be useful in this particular instance, but a copy of the dork that says you can only play one spell per turn would probably be pretty useful here. Alright, and suddenly we have a real shot here. Yeah, it's a great draw. Okay, so now what happens is we play... Do I just go do... Archon, the card we can tutor, Enya. I think it's just Tolsimir Yarok from here. And, like, eat this, eat this. I could also Othakaya kill this, put a blocker into play. What are my fours? I could Othakaya, put Shifting Ceratops into play as a blocker. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, we can hold up reach. The problem with this line is I die to... Do I get Archon of Sun's Grace so I don't die to another flyer? I think that's better, actually, right? Yeah, I think that's better. I don't want to die to another Phoenix. Yeah, opponent's empty-handed, so can't currently Lava X. Lightning Axe, whatever it's called. That one. Can't do that. And then we're en route to stabilization here, right? Do we just, like, grab Yarok, grab Knight of Autumn, gain 8? I think that's the play. It could also be right to just give up both incarnations at this point and get a couple of 5s. And when this deck stabilizes, it stabilizes hard. Yeah, have Mimic in hand to gain some more life there. This is not a Gonti matchup. This is not a Questing Beast matchup. This is not a Reidane matchup. Elspeth's Nightmare. This is fine. Not good, but fine. Maybe we trim some copies of that. Is this the normal stream time? Yep. Yeah, I go live about 8 a.m. Central. It's currently 20 after 8. I do Magic usually from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then I do a variety game, whatever I'm currently playing in the afternoons for about 1 to 3. Usually do 3 Magic decks and then some variety stuff. Monday through Friday. It's technically Graveyard Hate, although it's pretty slow against the Phoenix deck. Yeah, if this time works for you. We start about now and go for a little while. Yeah, I imagine with 6 days off, whatever the first fight is, we're gonna have to try and find like a band of roving bandits to pick a fight with and go, so that way I could try and get my button mashing under my feet again. Been following your content since you first appeared as a guest on Brainstorm Brewery. Gosh, that's like the back in the meadery days, lifetime ago. Thanks for the Prime contract. Wouldn't be able to be here without folks like you. The Meadery is a now defunct site that was the first place I had a consistent gig doing Magic content. Back when I first started doing SCG tour stuff. I got 40 entire dollars per article. And I was super excited about it. Yeah, the Meadery didn't do backups, lost their database, and disappeared. Is exactly correct. Alright, what am I murdering with this Othakaya? I think it's actually Dorat, right? Because while tokens from this are annoying, I can kill this later, whereas if this gets going, I can't really kill it with my damage-based removal. I think the perfect pet's actually the scarier threat here. So as a heads up, this is something that's going to take some adjusting for people to know since we've changed extensions. The new untapped extension on the mouse over overlay shows you my current deck as configured for the game. So rest in peace are 3 copies in my sideboard in this deck. Because the untapped overlay, if you look at it, shows you the probability for me to draw cards at any given point based on what's currently in my hand that in play and in deck. That is a change from how Cardboard Live did things. I think it's a good, reasonable change. Hey, thanks for the follow, Tom's Bob. Welcome to the channel this morning. Yeah, if you type !deck, you'll get a link to the Game 1 configuration. Is exactly correct. Okay, so I think we just go tapped land, draw Sky Noodle here, right? It's planned to take a hit next turn, and then we can jam this down. Morning, Lucos. My 11-month-old slept the entire night, which she doesn't always do yet, so yeah, it's a good start to the day. Missing blue mana here, kind of backbreaking. They don't have a removal spell for Archon, we might be okay. If the Archon dies here, we're gonna die with it, just is what it is. If the Archon doesn't die, and, like, we get to, like, drop Birth next turn and some other stuff, like, we're gonna get going here. Morning, Cowboy. Everything louder. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Looking for that lightning axe here to be able to deal with the Archon. Let's see if they can find it. So the copy option on the overlay, copying the current configuration, is a bug that they will be fixing. In the meantime, if you want the deck list that is the current configuration, you can check it out. If I block like this, I take 8 and end up at 3. That's fine. It does not, Justin. I end up at 4. Math is hard. So I was blocking this one. Maybe I'm supposed to block a 1/1 because of the DL2s. I mean, it doesn't matter if you got to Mythic either. Getting to Mythic doesn't mean your deck is good. A proper justification for my deck's good is never I got to X rank with it. That is never an appropriate response in my opinion. Your sample size is bad and it should not be used to justify the power level of anything, whether good or bad. Claire, thank you for the third of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. We'll be getting to blue-white tempered steel today. Yeah, my plan is Enigmatic Incarnation, Dragonstorm, and then blue-white steel. So barring a large sea creature making its presence known and cutting in line, we'll be getting to blue-white tempered steel. Like a Kraken. Yeah, if a Kraken shows up, it might get pushed to tomorrow. I'm keeping this hand, even though it doesn't have a white source, because white is the most common color land in our mana base, and if we find our first white source, the entire hand is unlocked thanks to Birth. And I have a Trial of Ambitions to kill their first threat, so we can afford to stumble for a turn or two, I think. And the quality of our spells is very good here if we can cast them. So basically, the question you want to ask yourself with a speculative keep like this is what's more likely? Am I more likely to draw a white source with this, or am I more likely to win on whatever my 6-card hand looks like? And I think this hand is powerful enough that drawing a white source is a risk I'm willing to take. Oh gosh, this thing is crazy. I need to figure out how to show you all this overlay. We could actually make, so I could go here on my thing. I have a 24% chance to draw a white source. Look at that. 1 in 4. Look at that's sick. You can just actually click deck and pull it up and click at the lands and see what's going on here. Lovely. I'm gonna put my normal, I'll have to play with my capture settings to see how I can set it up so you all at home see that capture as well. Yeah, you should see that on the overlay too. But people on YouTube and stuff don't get to see that. For example. All right, do we do this? It feels like they might have a counterspell here, huh? I don't really want to run this into a counterspell. I could just draw the Sky Noodle. I'm just gonna draw the Sky Noodle. I am in the wrong scene. Thank you. Does it have a mobile extension? It does. You can see the deck list on mobile. No, it shows the deck list on mobile, right? Right, Tappa? Is that an arena update? No, that is the untapped arena extension. This is a third-party piece of software that makes arena better. Oh, the deck tracker itself in game. Yeah, you can't get that on mobile. Do we... I think we just Glasspool Mimic here, right? If they're fine going slow here, I think we're fine going slow. I think the game definitely favors us as we go along. The easiest way to ask yourself, the easiest way to figure out if a feature that I'm showing is a third-party piece of software or an arena feature is ask yourself, is this a quality of life feature? And if the answer is yes, it's the result of a third-party tool. Why not play Birth there? Because I don't want to get spell pierced. It feels like they're holding up spell pierce / negate on these turns. I'd really like to not get countered off my second white. Yeah, eventually I have a bunch of cheap spells, like if they want to tap out to put a threat into play. That's good for me. Yeah, they played the pacing of this game has implied that they have counter magic. Yeah, sweet. And now I get to go Birth into Trial, kill your thing. Do I Trial kill their thing or do I stick the Rip? I think I just Trial. Because if they want to spin their tires and put a Phoenix into play next turn, that's fine. I guess they could go tire spinning into... They could go tire spinning into Phoenix, hold up a counterspell. That's correct, Clark. As long as you have an active Amazon Prime account, you have a Prime sub every month. I don't know. I kind of like guaranteeing getting my... my second light source into play. They can have Mystical Dispute here too as their counterspell, which makes Yorion a scotch awkward. Thanks for the Prime Gooners. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. Alright, let's lead on this. Because if they counter this, we'll go ahead and draw Jam Enigmatic Incarnation. My read on Spell Pierce was good. Maybe I guess I didn't know they explicitly had Pierce. So it was Pierce or Negate. They could still make a land drop, right? Tap land, okay. So that's a noodle. So I have 7 mana. I think it's just Sky Noodle here, right? We blink the trial. I guess I could Enigmatic. I would definitely expect you to fall out at 1195. Probably gonna have to chump with Yorion here. Am I going for the top 1200? No. I regularly, if you're someone that doesn't follow the stream super closely, I regularly concede matches to people that are in contention to top 1200. We're ranked 97% while regularly conceding to people. Because I don't care about the qualification stuff. That's brutal. We're going to 3. Alright, I need to draw untapped land here. That's annoying. I guess I'm gonna have to not depend on them posting anything. Maybe they'll post global win rates. I mean, we're not dead on board. Into that though. Maybe my pacing early in the game. I probably should have. I probably should have played into the Spell Pierce earlier in that game was likely my mistake. Oh, I wanted to get a what's it called into my deck. Card lets them only play 1 spell per turn. Yeah, I don't know that reviewing ladder stats is really super useful. Ladders in games versus ladders versus tournament settings tend to be very, very different. And from a competitive perspective, the looking at tournament stats is just a lot more meaningful. Especially without knowing the innards of how the ladder works. Yeah, another one is another mistake I possibly made that game was the turn I played my card to fetch Birth, the planes. I could have trialed plus Oath that turn, and that was potentially better. I see it's missing green, but we've got Omen to hopefully dig it up. Control matchup smells like. Well, they took that one, so I guess we'll play it. Ah, the Thoughtseize bug. I could just have another discard spell here to take this and leave me with nothing. Oh, okay. So, one thing I don't understand, and this is why I hate, like, data is so weird. So, like, The MTG data Twitter, this is one of the reasons why I'll probably move off of using them. They're saying they're not going to post a win rate matrix for this week because there was barely 1,000 matches between the two, but they also said they're going to post a matrix next Monday for the Strixhaven Championship. So, like, the Strixhaven Championship is almost assuredly having less than the events we had over this weekend. So, like, if they're gonna justify not posting anything for this weekend, they definitely shouldn't be posting anything for the Strixhaven Championship. And so it's so weird where people choose to, like, arbitrarily draw their lines when they're doing stuff like that. God bless America, my country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Man, that's annoying. I think we just grab Renegade Rallier here and draw. Oath turns into a 4-drop, so a little bit of reach. Apotropic, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Ooh, opponent also on Gontis. Bet their Gonti drew a spell, because it's rude. Hey, thanks for the entire year, hooker. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Going on, Jason? Good morning. Okay. I didn't want them to trade Bolas for Gonti, Lambton. Because I had Yorion in my hand and wanted the blink Gonti. So I chose not to attack because I didn't want them to trade. We're going to turn Omen of the Sea into a Skyclave Apparition and get rid of their Bolas here, and then they're just super far behind. They're out here was flipping this. Yeah. Putting each deck a player has on coverage. No, I don't think so. Maybe. Here's what I think. I think the amount of value that adds to the coverage in proportion to the amount of work that it would take me to do is not a worthwhile exchange. That's the correct way to put it. So your suggestion is good, but the amount of effort it would take me personally to do midstream makes it not worthwhile to pursue. This is probably a Tolsimir and Yarok out matchup. Thoughtseize probably comes in. They're on counter spells. From a Skyclave Apparition, a couple sounds good. Wouldn't need downtime, could do it mid-match. Yeah, so that means I'm not doing commentary and I'm not paying attention to all the other things I'm already currently paying attention to. What I need to do is I need to take time to try and find some additional sponsors for the Open so I can afford to pay a producer to have a fifth person involved. With our staff of 3 that we currently have, it's just not practical. Staff of 4 with my second commentator, it's just not practical to do a lot of stuff. Do I want some negates? I might want some negates here. For the year and a half, Zingzal, welcome back. So I don't think your suggestion is bad. I just think given our current setup, it's not practical to implement. Yuzak, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Hey, sounds good, Tappa. Well, need a white source. I mean, so I guess from the added value standpoint, like most people who are watching a Magic tournament play Magic, right? So like, how many people are tuning into a Magic tournament that can't look at the screen and see what cards people are playing and know or not know what decks are being played? Like, what real value does putting the deck name on the stream actually add? Hey, Lenny, thank you for the 16 months. Welcome back. So, like, who is that adding value for, I suppose, is my question. Yeah, there's a super, like putting mono black aggro on the stream, like can't you just look at the cards they're playing and see mono black aggro? All of my co-commentators for the Hoaglandia Open events will be fellow Cool Stuff Inc. sponsored players. Because going back to money, Cool Stuff Inc. pays for my second commentator if I use one of their sponsored players. Knowing the difference between Jeskai, Velocibus, and Jeskai Turns, they're literally the same deck. They're actually the same deck. They're the same thing. So putting the name of it on the stream actually wouldn't be helpful for you because it's the same thing. So again, it's one of those things like when I actually think about it, I don't know that I understand that there's value being added by the suggestion. Now, I'm pretty happy with what we do for the Open Series events. Outside of things that require more money to implement, I'm pretty content with what we've set up with the resources we have available. It actually wouldn't make it easier to search for at all because they're not recommending that we put the deck names in the stream title, Naismith. They're recommending that I put the deck names on the stream overlay. Which is different, for reference. Oh, maybe I'm supposed to have thought seized this because I had Scarab God. I can see that being the case. I don't know, it's one of those things where like other Magic tournaments put the things on the stream overlay and I've always found it kind of weird. It's like, one of the things that really bothers me is that for whatever reason, most other tournaments put the current match record on the overlay for the players, but like there's little dots right here and right here that very clearly show you what the current record of the players are. So it's always weird to me that that's something that the tournament designers for the like choose to put on there as an extra bit, since like they can. Oh, I could have attacked with this. Missed 5 points of damage. What about past games like 5-0? Well, if you're doing a boomer tournament structure where, you know, you could be showing players who are 0-3, that could be fine. What about to lay people that may not know what the pips mean? It is boomer, because in a double elimination tournament structure, you could know what the record is when you're glancing at it, because you know they're still live to win the tournament. So like needing the records on stream is a byproduct of like the tournament structure being archaic. Yeah, but you're missing the point. The point is the information you're asking for is information you can easily derive. So why clutter the overlay with information that's easily derived? What value do you add by? Because remember, it's not just as simple as you can keep putting information on the screen and it's all just free to add and there's no negative from putting more words up on the screen. Everything you put up on the screen is a distraction. So putting redundant information up there that you could be getting from another way is something that has a detriment to it. It's not just as simple as, oh, this is free, we should do it. And going back to the talking about the pips on stream versus putting the numbers on stream, why is it people that don't know what the pips mean probably can't follow coverage anyways. So again, you like should be making the overlay to appeal to your audience. I think we're dead at this point. I'm gonna board in an extra way or two to take Grafdigger's Cage off the table. It's real annoying for our Incarnation. One thing that I think is actually good for this deck right now is I think Grafdigger's Cage is actually at one of the worst spots it's been in the format, which is nice for us. Understand Magic, but don't play MTGA. How many of those friends regularly watch arena tournaments though? I knew what the pips meant before I played Arena for the first time because I watched Arena content. And if you're smart enough to figure out Magic the Gathering, you're smart enough to understand what the little dots on the screen mean. This probably actually isn't very good here. They have a lot of creature spells that cost 4+. Trim this because it's an extra 4. Need one more cut here. The Archon's not good enough. Nope. I agree. I think the dots are pretty intuitive. I think a lot of those types of interface things are holdovers from boomer tournaments where that information isn't readily available in another way, and people are just used to having it because of that. And there's something to be said about familiarity. These are viewer deck submissions all the time, Kid Martian. Is there anything like record or bracket? Yeah, you could literally see the entire tournament, follow it live on MTG Melee, because it's not some paper boomer Magic tournament. You can see all the players' records, all the deck lists, everything. It was all available all day. You can always see the decks we're going to have coming up by typing !Q in chat. What's going on, Super Lee? Thanks for the 11 months. Welcome back. Can we delete the old Hoots command? Hoots and numbered isn't something I'm doing anymore. The open page on my website has all the stuff in it. I'll just utilize that. I'm gonna go ahead and wait because they're probably playing Gonti this turn, and then Nightmare can kill Gonti. Nice. Good stuff. Goodbye, friend. Cubbin Dude, thanks for the follow. Flame, thanks for the 32 months. Welcome back. Goodbye, friends. Alright, so here's a question. After we finish this deck, do we grab the data manually from the various tournaments and format it together on stream, or should I just do that after the stream myself tonight and post a video this evening? Actually, is anybody in Twitch chat want to do that for us? Twitch chat, I summoned someone to be useful. What if we have someone, what if someone in Twitch chat wants to do it for me? Oh, MTG Meta has it automatically. Oh, they do, don't they? Do they? Metagame. Oh, and I can click date ranges too. I will play with that in a minute. Yeah, that might do one. I forgot that that site existed. Thanks for the follow, Pegasus, or for the 6-month sub, Pegasus. Welcome back. Food with Inquisition main? Joke's on you, I didn't want to cast these spells anyways. I wonder if you're a Citadel deck. Because they don't have Wellspring as a companion here, notably. They've got something in their deck with Gilded Goose that has double or triple pips on it. Nope, they are just food. Okay. Just don't have an answer to that, huh? Do I have an answer in my 75 to that? I don't think we do we? Oh, I have Binding. Yeah, good call. Forgot about Binding. Forgot about Binding. Hostage Taker and Deputy are like answers. I mean, the food deck's almost always played 4 Corvalds. I mean, Big Monkey usually doesn't kill that card either. If you're really fortunate, it'll kill that card, but usually it doesn't. Corval gets very big very quickly. He plans to play Modern in the future. I'll be sending out a subscriber survey this evening, asking folks if they are interested in Magic Online content with Modern Horizons 2 cards. So if you're someone that would really like to see Modern, or if you're someone that would really not like to see Magic Online, make sure you fill that out. Also, apparently Twitch has disabled the email my subscribers button. So if you want to get a link to the survey, you're going to need to make sure you're in the Discord server this time around. So normally I email it to my subs because Twitch had that function, but they recently got rid of it. So It's supposed to be being replaced with upgraded functionality, but they didn't give me any sort of timeline on that, so who knows. Susan and Tezzeret, thanks for the follows. Welcome to the channel. I'm gonna leave it purely democratic. Would Chupacabra be too hard on the mana base? I don't think Chupacabra is good. I think it's worse than the other cards we could be playing. I think you're currently watching me play against Korvold and struggle to have an answer to Korvold, so your Twitch chat mind goes right to, Jeff, I need to add a narrow bad card to the deck to answer Korvold, but like, also no. Don't do that. Don't sideboard your deck or change your deck every time you run into a random thing. And also, like, we have 4 Binding of the Old Gods, chat. Like, I have Korvold answers. I know I just conceded a game where I didn't draw one, but, like, that's also gonna happen even if I had a Chupacabra to my deck. Wing Zayao, thanks for the follow. I think we're dead for him. And a couple of rough games at our mana base so far today. Maybe should be mulliganing a little bit more aggressively. You submit JAC to me. I don't know that I'm going to take viewer submissions for Modern. Usually taking... I think if I play Modern, I'm going to play decks that I explicitly want to play. Or things that are just good decks. Dipping into a format and playing shitty decks that people send me right off the bat's usually a good way to mean that the format's not going to be fun because I'm going to lose a bunch with their bad decks. SRM, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Willing to play some Amulet Titan? I don't know that I want to play stock best decks. We'll see. See, I'm not gonna make any decisions until I see what the actual survey results look like. I mean, like, the money's not the problem. Pokemon, like, people would be paying me money to play their bad decks, but more so about the quality of the content. All right, any untapped land's a good draw with Binding here. Nailed it. Oh man, no plays? Opponent's pretty unlucky. Well, I'm gonna take Land War Elves. I've already got my Skyclave Apparitions in hand, so I don't have anything good to collect a company into, chat. Oh, what could this be? Weird. Maybe I was supposed to block BTE there to force the... Maybe I'm supposed to block BTE there to force the cleave on that, or to keep my Gonti. It's probably the better line. What do the kids say, chat? YOLO? Would have died then? No, I was at 12, right? Right? I think I was at 12. I remember. I go back and check the tape down. The classic Cleave Collected Company questing beast deck. Listen, chat, for those of you that haven't played much Magic Arena, the greed of the players on this application knows no bounds. It is boundless. If you are lucky, you can do whatever you want with your deck building. Damn statistics be damned. Was Yorion not a good play there? Still get to kill both creatures. My Saga was literally in the graveyard, so no. I could not have killed both creatures. That was not a legal play. You're correct that if my Saga hadn't just sacrificed itself, Yorion would have been a good play. SRM, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. What a delight. Well, so there isn't a hard and fast amount of math for something like Ephemerate, because something like Ephemerate doesn't have a chance to brick in terms of doing nothing a lot of games, right? So like with Ephemerate, it might get stranded in your hand for a little bit, but once you draw a card that works with it, it unlocks and guaranteed does its thing. Whereas a card like Collected Company, if you don't have enough hits for it, there's a chance you cast your spell and it does nothing. So Ephemerate has a chance to get stranded, but when you cast it, you know it's going to work, generally speaking, unless it gets blown up by removal or something your opponent does. But with Collected Company, there's a chance you pay mana for your spell and get actual nothing from it if your statistics are bad. So, like, there is, like, probably a metric you could go through to figure out, like, what's the minimum number I can play to, like, not have this card get stranded on me constantly, but also it wouldn't be, like, a hard and fast roll. We keep this. Trial on 2's pretty good. Needs a second white source for the Skyclave, but our deck doesn't have 1 mana spells in this in it, so, like, 2 mana interactions the fastest we interact. Yeah, the mana base, like, we had a couple of issues with our land so far, but I think that's mostly a result of me not mulliganing enough. The lands in this deck are, like, pretty reasonable overall. Nailed it. Man, no plays. Pretty unlucky. Actually, you know what's actually unlucky, chat? What's actually unlucky is drawing this stupid basic forest right before I play my Yasharn and would have searched it up. That's what's actually unlucky. Stupid basic forest and your stupid basic face. Alright, well, they can't attack with Bell Collector, at least. Got that going for us. Why not take the elf with Skyclave to stop the Collected? Because that's not how Magic works. They just cast the Collected Company in response. Dodge a cleave, we can dodge a ball, chat. Narrator, he couldn't dodge the cleave. Holy crap, it's just a Bone Crusher Giant. What? It's stone cold. Nothing. Sometimes lucky. What? Excuse me? I mean, they have company again here, but that's fine. Listen, chat. Beggars shan't be choosers. We dodged the cleave. Take. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Put Reidane into play, you can't cast your company. Nailed it. Nailed it. Nice collected company. Let's go. Oh. We're done. Get out of here. GG. Alright, and the game is ended. For people that haven't seen us do this before, get ready to be on. You see my opponent's board, chat? It's all going away. Sacrifice this one, get Yarok. Sacrifice this one, get Tolsimir. Gain 12, massacre your board. Yeah, goodbye, friend. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Nah, this is a pretty average day, Wargy. Also, I want you to keep in mind that the chat today is approximately, let's say, 1/10 of what it would be if we had non-sub chat. It's actually, we haven't played this deck this season yet, but we've played this deck in past seasons, and it's always a treat. Our opponent is rank 27, chat. They're playing for keepsies. Show me your Jeskai land. Oh, mono black, sure. Deal. Deal, Orino. Mean deck, go blank. Normally I'd ask who hurt them, but the answer is Jeskai Control. Jeskai Control hurt them, chat. Fatal Push? If they're playing Fatal Push. Oh, alright. Yikes. Alright, so we got another Trial of Ambition here. Trial or Skyclave are the droids we're looking for. How about a land? No blocks. 13. It's the part where they play a second Obliterator. Hey, beep beep. Nailed it. You love to see it, chat. Things you love to see. It. Alright. Reidane and Archon can come out here. Scarab God's probably a little slow. Honestly, Shifty Boy trades with their big Dorko, so it's probably fine. Hey, thanks for the tip, Closepian. Happy Memorial Day. Thanks for the content all weekend long. Thanks for support. Hope your holiday is well. I think I'm happy with this. I think I want. I think Rest in Peace is kind of a trap in this matchup. You'd rather just like have things like Skyclave exile their stuff. No, I think Graveyard hates a trap. Oh, I feel you there, PK Jeff. My 11-month-old finally slept through the night last night. It was kind of nice. I enjoyed it. She'll like randomly do it like once a week, and then she's up again on a bunch of the other nights. It's rough. Not surprised to see Oath go away there. We'll see if they have a second threat to deploy. They do. I think we just play Trial here. Like, obviously they can pick Gutter Bones back up, but the tempo generated here is fine. It's like trading 2 mana for 3 mana if they pick it up and replay it. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I didn't get it published yesterday. I had the audacity to take my children to the park after the open was done yesterday. So, it didn't get published till this morning, but it is now live, the open coverage. These eventually have value with the Sky Noodle here as well. Yeah, Haley's birthday is actually 2 weeks from today, 6/14. Deck is on your site. What's the best place to find other decks for best of 3? My YouTube channel has a lot of decks that don't always make it onto my site. I think everything I stream that I feel is worth watching ends up on the YouTube channel. At this point, there's enough deck lists on my website that I'll basically only be adding something new to the site if it's super unique, or if we played a couple of sets with it usually. Because there's endless decks in this format, so my goal is to not have too much overlap between things I recommend there. Interested in elementals. It'll probably be a deck I'd take as a viewer submission. I'd have to see it first. I wonder if I'm supposed to draw the planes and leave Incarnation on top to play around Go Blank here. Yeah, this deck's great, chat. We played this deck a number of times before. I don't think it's like gonna crack the format in half by any means, but it's definitely competitive. It's very reasonable against these various creature decks, and it's not just dead against control, because it's got a bunch of shifting Ceratops in it. This one might be one I threw up on the site because we played it a number of times in the past. We just haven't played it yet since the archive dropped. The blink on Skyclave was free, right? Yeah, technically, you're right. Nice. Alright, we'll bottom a trial. No, yeah, there's actual 0 anthology and 0 archive cards in this deck. Did not find any of them particularly useful. Yeah, I bet we're gonna see a lot of black aggro pop up in this format now. The deck's very reasonable. Had a strong weekend in the Hooglandia tournament, winning the entire thing. Had a number of people. In addition to winning the tournament, also had a bunch of other people playing it. So nice, sweet draw. Hey, Robo Reagan, thanks for the sub gift. Is there any way we can get up to Eladrin on this, or is it too cute? Nah, it's too cute. Wow, no spawn here is huge. Okay, so I could do this to try and hit my land drop, but I think I want to just kill their threat here. I think because we drew the land, we just go tap land game 3. I was going to Omen for untapped land, but I think we just take the guarantee of getting Charming Prince into play here. They have Heartless Act as their last card in hand, kind of hiding behind their portrait. I'm gonna go ahead and trade with this because they can't bring it back next turn. If I blocked Gutter Bones and this is a black source, they could have picked it back up. There was an Esper Doom Foretold deck that was played in the Open yesterday. You can find that on the MTG Melee page, which is linked on the coverage page of my website. It's our best draw here. Probably like a Charming Prince. We gotta push those. We need a live draw to, was I supposed to just Binding here? I guess I'm dead on board because I didn't binding, right? If I brick now. Yeah, maybe I was supposed to binding there. Just kill this and then go to 1. And then I would have played a tapped land. I would have had 7. Probably still end up in a mediocre spot. I was only drawing 1 card, Goody. I couldn't draw Oath and then also get a land. Dr. Craxy, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, I was a scry 2, draw 1. Okay. We'll bottom this. That line only works in paper. It's funny because it's true. Morning, shoot Walla. Our hand's a little bit ambitious, but we're hoping to dodge the triple 1-drop draw here. Never lucky. Hoping to peel an untapped land next turn, so that way we can binding or double spell. I think I want to just do this and kill the knight because the wall blocks these other ones. Solitarity, good morning. And then binding here, acting as a little bit of fixing for us. Gonna get to go ahead and grab us up a blue source here. Watanabe was the Tron land cheater, right? Or am I mixing up my paper scumlords? Yeah. Yeah, their sleeves on some of their Tron lands were marked. See if they got a Heartless Act here or not. Or Yarok. He was too pure for this world, Chip. Was this a good draw? If so, why? Please explain. Their fourth land came on time here. They get to ditch our noodle. Binding, probably one of our better hits here. Yikes. I only have one blue. Kind of surprised they didn't make a sacrifice. They could trade their 1/1 for my 2/2. God, Oath would have been good last turn, too. Better late than never, I suppose. For the record, Luke, you have the wrong Todd. Todd Anderson's a very reasonable dude from all my interactions with him. I assume you mean Todd Stevens, who's an awful human being. Boss Doom, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, they're trading no one for the 2/2 now. Get enough mana to scry on end step. Why would you choose to do an upkeep? Because as I pointed out, I only have one blue source. Did you miss on some drama? No new drama. People just talking about old shit for whatever reason. That'll do, pig. Dipzor, thanks for the follow. Heltrick, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. It felt pretty reasonable. I feel like the games we lost in there were either a little bit unlucky, like flooding out in that last one, or I made a pretty critical mistake. I think mulliganing with a deck like this is pretty important. We saw me keep a couple of weak hands in that set and then get punished by not being able to cast our spells. The mana's functional usually if you're mulliganing appropriately. A big part of what makes the mana functional too is the fact that like Omen of the Sea and Charming Prince both provide us with card selection, so we have 7 ways to kind of smooth out our draws a little bit. I think this was our first time playing with Birth, either first or second, and Birth was super reasonable all throughout that set, both for getting a second white source, as well as just being an enchantment and like stabilizing us against aggro a little bit. Yeah, I think this one felt super good. I think this deck really shines against aggressive decks. I know we died to Mono Black in that last match, but we beat it in the one before that. This deck's always had a very reasonable, like, Gruul matchup. We, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it, didn't run into any Jeskai control in that set, but I think with the full suite of Ceratops and some discard and some counterspells, we should probably be pretty okay there. Maybe not favored like we are against aggro, but not also just auto-conceding either. We have tools there that can keep us in a reasonable spot, I think a lot of the time.